Hi, you're listening to Phil DeBella, and this is FlashCast by PDB. Today we tackle the wonderful terminology of comfort zones. Yes, you heard it, comfort zones. So let's start. What is a comfort zone? Well, many different explanations, but basically a situation where one feels safe or at ease. To go on further, comfort zones are a psychological state in which things feel familiar to a person and that they are at ease and in control of their environment, experiencing low levels of anxiety and stress. Now, how awesome is it? So let's start with saying, well, isn't this a state that we want to always be in? Something that we strive for, something that we've always, question ourselves and say, why aren't we in this zone, in this comfort zone? Because that's where I actually think I'm operating my best. Well, let me tell you my view on it. It's not where we operate our best. To me, comfort zone actually builds mediocre. And what I mean by that is that if you're constantly in your comfort zone, then we don't evolve. And to me, evolution is a part of life. Tomorrow better than today, today better than yesterday. And therefore, if we're constantly in that comfort zone, we're never getting the best. And I often talk about being the best you can be. And this is why I believe comfort zones are very, very dangerous. So the state of mind of trying to get into a comfort zone and stay there, to me, is non-productive. It doesn't allow people to evolve, and it doesn't bring out the best in people. It goes against everything that I talk about being the best you can be. Now, of course, everybody has a different level of comfort zone. What I'm comfortable with, somebody else isn't, which is something else I often talk about, which you've heard in previous flashcasts about. Get comfortable with your worst possible scenario. If you combine the concept of constantly evolving to better yourself, to be better today than you were yesterday, to be better tomorrow than you are today, yet are conscious at all times of the worst possible scenario, then to me, the two intertwine beautifully. You will always operate in optimum performance zone, which is something they clinically talk about, being in optimal performance zone, and you won't be in comfort zone, but nor will you be in danger zone. So to me, that's where you want to play. You don't want to be in comfort zone and you don't want to be in danger zone. You want to be in the optimal performance zone. And the way to get to there, for me, is to have a mindset of tomorrow better than today, but always understanding your worst possible scenario, no matter what the case is. Now, the Stoics actually call it, so if you follow Stoicism and Seneca and these guys, which I follow a little bit of, call it a velvet rut. And what they say is that it's very easy to get comfortable, to build up your life exactly how you want it to be, to minimize inconveniences, to hand off stuff you don't like to do, things that people would, talk about. That's the ultimate epitome of success. However, the Stoics call it a velvet rut. And it says that it's nice, but the comfort tricks you into thinking that you are not stuck when actually you are. Being in a comfort zone means that you actually are stuck. And the Stoics say that that's a kind of death, that the moment we stop growing, we start dying. Now, it sounds dramatic. To some it would be. But to me, it's about evolution. It's about tomorrow better than today. And I have to say that I agree with what the Stoics say. Seneca talked over and over again about the importance of adversity. I'm not only embracing the struggle life throws at us, but to always seek out that difficulty makes you stronger. And I have to say that, and you've heard me in many flashcasts before say, that the negative occurrences and experiences in our life often shape the positive. They make us who we are today. And for those of you that have gone through difficult situations, and I don't think I've met a person that hasn't yet, and of course to different degrees and level, people have, different experiences, but often it's the people that have gone through the most that have become the most resilient, because they've always taken themselves, they've always had to operate out of their comfort zone. And then when you break down and say, well, how can they constantly be out of their comfort zone, but not break them? And it's because that they have this magic about them. They have this mindset about them that says, it doesn't matter what you throw at me. It doesn't matter how far you push me. I'm going to see it as a challenge. I'm going to see it as a challenge to be better today than what I was yesterday. I'm going to see it as a challenge that tomorrow I'm going to learn more about who I am. I'm going to learn more about the situation. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be the best that I can be. So when you often hear me talk about being the best that you can be, it's often around operating in that optimal performance zone rather than being stuck in a comfort zone or pushing it too far and being into danger mode. To me, I always talk about challenging yourself helps you perform at your peak. And of course, everyone's different level of challenge or how far they can be challenged is different. Stepping outside one's comfort zone is important. And to me, if you don't, then you're not personally growing. So I say to people, if you want to evolve in your life and your careers, if you want to evolve your relationships with friends, with family, you need to be able to step outside a comfort zone, right? You need to be able to personally grow. Now, of course, you don't want to push too hard where it breeds anxiety, because, of course, then you've pushed it far too far. You need to make sure that you stay within your worst possible scenario. So that remember that the worst possible scenario and getting out your comfort zone go hand in hand. They will actually ensure that you don't get into the danger zone. Now, don't forget that trying new things makes you creative. And creativity can be risky. However, creativity is what makes us feel alive. Creativity is what makes us get that adrenaline rush of excitement. You know, it opens us up to vulnerability. It opens us up to all sorts of things that you might think is negative, but in actual fact, it's possibility of great creative achievement that gets us going, that actually makes the brain feel good. Stepping outside the comfort zone even makes it easier and more likely that you'll do it again once you get those creative juices flowing. You know, it's part of embracing new challenges. Now, what is life to be lived if it's not there to be lived, right? If we're not constantly changing, embracing new challenges. And again, the level of challenge is only relative to you. Not everybody, some people see bungee jumping as easy. I don't. I wouldn't jump off, with a rope wrapped around my legs. Now, that to me is a challenge I don't want to experience, but I'm happy to jump in a car and drive very fast around a racetrack. Someone else might not do that. So a challenge to different people, or a challenge is different to different people, and that's the mindset that we need to adopt. But staying stagnant, staying doing the same thing every day is what we're talking about here. Staying within your comfort zone where you never push yourself, extend yourself. You never do things, challenge yourself. You don't allow yourself to be creative. That is where we could say it's dangerous. And that's what hopefully listening to this FlashCast, helps you understand a little bit better from my perspective of how I go about it. And when I talk about tomorrow better than today, it's about making sure we're not staying in that comfort zone. But again, as I keep repeating, how do you ensure that you don't go into danger zone? Always get comfortable with your worst possible scenario. The worst possible scenario is what keeps your mind, content that it's not going to go into danger zone. Now, just to recap, to me, life's about being better today than what I was yesterday. To me, life's about evolution. To me, life's about being the best I can be. And when I take those three quotes, the biggest challenge I have is to make sure that I don't stay in comfort zone. And if I don't stay in comfort zone, then I can achieve those three things that I've outlined. You've been listening to Phil DeBello, and this is FlashCast by PDB. Until next time, be the best you can be. Get out of that comfort zone. Get into optimal performance zone, and make sure that you're always comfortable with your worst possible scenario.
Hi, this is Phil DeBella, and if you don't know already, in 2022 May, I'll be putting the dancing shoes on with my daughter Annika for Dancing CEOs Queensland. She can dance and I can't, but the journey's going to be fun. And we're doing it all for a great cause. So Dancing CEOs has been around for a long time here in Brisbane. It's an amazing organisation and charity event. They raised over $500,000 this year, and I look forward to it in 2022. If you can give $5, $500, $5,000, whatever you can would be great to support a great cause. It goes to Women's Legal Services Queensland, who make sure that women and children that are affected by domestic violence are looked after. So a great cause, 100% tax deducted, no admin fees, which is something that we love about it. 100% of your donation goes to helping those that need it. So support Arnica, support myself, and support Dancing CEOs. The link is provided below. Please give what you can.